Okay, so just started a couple of minutes early. I just want to sort out a couple of things before I start the show officially. It gives people time to jump in the chat, say hello as well. So hopefully we'll have no hiccups in that today. I will, though you'll be able to see me in a bit. Just trying to sort one little thing out before we start. If I can. Let's have a look. But if you're watching, just jump on the chat and say hello. The Man Emperor of Mankind says hello from the south of England. Hello, and thanks for joining us. Some reason I don't... YouTube's not telling me how many people are watching at the moment. But I'm sure that sorts itself out in a minute. So, here we go. So. Let's just do this. I will be visible in just a few more seconds. I just need to just see if I can get this thing to work. Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, I just need to put that up. So as you'll notice, we have a little live chat thing, and I'm trying to make it go above everything else. According to this it is, but it's not showing up as. So yeah, let's just... Okay, we'll do that for now. Okay, so yeah, the chat, I'm going to have the chat come up on here. It's just a little thing I'm trying out. It doesn't look too great, but... Emerald Phantom says hello from the power of YouTube. Hello, Emerald Phantom. So yeah, I have to fiddle around with this chat box thing because it's a bit ugly and black. And I'm going to change the colour of the names on the screen. That's horrible. We'll go a bit brighter. Let's try that. That's a bit better. Okay. So today I'm going to be painting some of my Primaris Marines. I'll be showing you off some other stuff. You can see over here there's some Death Guard as well. I'll show off some of them. But we're going to be painting some Primaris Marines. So far I have a couple of Ancients, one for my Emerald Aces and one for my Sons of Osiris chapter, what I'm going to call them. I also have a Captain for them, and I've got a Lieutenant for the Emerald Aces as well. I'll be probably jumping between the four of these, painting different parts of them. So that's what we'll be doing today. I'll just give people a bit more time to jump on, as I started, just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I can show off some of my Death Guard stuff. So essentially, I've built one lot up just as they are. They're over there, all undercoated, ready to go. But I've actually converted up some of the others. No one's saying they can't hear me as well, so I assume the sound is all working fine. So I'll show you some of these miniatures if the camera wants to focus on them. So I've converted up one of the Lords of Contagion, if it wants to focus. As you can see though, he's got a big scythe. I've also changed the thing on his back just to have an icon. Got rid of the horn on one of his shoulder pads. He has got a different head, but I don't know if it wants to focus on that. Oh, there you go. I think it's from the Forsaken box, so it's got like a tentacle coming out of his mouth. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how this guy's turned out. Henry Mendez says hello from California. Well, hello. I'm sure it's lovely and sunny and hot over there. It's quite warm here too. Nothing like last week. If you watched last week, you'll have seen that I was melting. It was so hot last week, especially under these lamps as well. But it's cooled down a little bit. This guy as well, I think I've just given him a head swap and changed this thing around. Wants to focus. I'm normally quite good at identifying where bits come from, but in regards to this guy's head, like, I don't really know, because it looks like a Plague Bearer head, but it's not. It's slightly bigger. So it's from one of the other Nurgle or Chaos sets. Harry says, "Hi Peaches, ooh, nice new format." Yeah, I've just put a little chat box up on the side. It looks alright, don't it? I preferred it in like white with black text, but I haven't seen how you can change the background. I can only change the text colour, so. But I just thought for people watching it back on YouTube, you know, they don't just see me talking to myself. This is my favourite miniature I've converted for the death card. He's going to count as an icon bearer. So yeah, Icon of Despair, I think they take. I've used this from the Manticore box, I believe. And then I've just put the Lord of Contagion's spare head on him. Emerald Phantom says, "Yeah, it was that warm, didn't think I was still in the UK." Yeah, it really didn't feel like UK temperatures last week. It was lovely, but it does get too hot at night. So a couple of these are still the same. I changed for champion because after seeing the new stuff what's being released, I might take one of them snap fit champions what's coming out for the second squad. So I've just made this guy into a normal Marine. So he's just got a Mark III bolter. And his hand's actually from the Primaris Lieutenant. Or one of the Sergeants, I can't remember. But anyway, it's from one of the Primaris guys. It doesn't want to focus. This camera has no like manual focus feature, which is really annoying. So you kind of have to play with it. But you can see it's got I'm not going to play about that. So Benny Boy Sutton's here. Says, "Mondays are so much better when you start live streaming. Keep up the great work." Thank you. I enjoy doing them. I'm really croaky tonight though. Harry says he's working on Nurgle as well, but for Age of Sigmar. Planning on rebasing everything and do a mixed Chaos Force to match his 6k Death Army. Yeah, because I think you mentioned last week that you had them on square bases. So yeah, definitely rebase them because everything that's better on everything that's better on round. Rebase on 100 clan rats will kill me. I'll guess that's why I married my wife. Yeah, you gotta get him to help, right? My other actually helps with some of the Bitzbox orders. So she puts all the stamps and stuff and packs them up. I just gather all the bits. She enjoys doing that, so. And because of her help, we can get through a lot more orders quicker. Which has been really handy because since 8th edition's launched, we've had so many more orders than we normally get. People obviously, excuse me, people obviously buying a lot of different bits. Obviously, different weapons are now more viable than they used to be, so people are buying them. I've noticed a lot of the Orc stuff has been selling really good, especially like their combi weapons. But I mean, a lot of people will be running combi Scorchers. So yeah, it's really good, actually, really good lately. We'll have to start getting a lot more stuff in, which I'm sure we will. Got a few bits on order, so it's all good. We'll have some more Dark Imperium stuff coming in next week as well. So if you missed out on any of that, we're going to have some more in very soon. So back to these Death Guard. I don't think I've done much more on the others. This guy's got a Chaos Knight's head. Sort of make it look a bit different. But yeah, I'm going to do 2 different colour schemes on the squads. So the reason for that is because I couldn't choose between the 2 of them, and I got to do a painting tutorial for each one anyway. So, and that'd be nice. Chaos ain't got to be too uniform of you, so it's going to be really cool. Harry says, "So what's with your own chapter? Any new ideas?" Yes, we actually have a name and a chapter badge as well. Let's get the miniatures out, because they're only up here. I've got my Hellblaster squad, you might have seen them on our Instagram or Facebook page. So I have posted them up yesterday. But here are the blasters. I've called them the Sons of Osiris. I know it's a bit of a take of Sons of Horus, but essentially, years and years ago, I had a little Chaos Force called the Sons of Osiris who used this colour scheme. I don't have them no more, so we'll pretend they didn't exist and have them as Space Marines. But I don't know if you can see the chapter symbol. It's all freehand, but it's essentially the cane and the whip that the Egyptian god Osiris carries. I don't know if it's going to show up on here at all. It's a bit reflective with the metallic blue as well. But that's just a simple little chapter badge that I can easily just paint on all of them. And if anyone hasn't seen the Emerald Aces, I've freehanded the chapter symbol on them. Yeah, which is essentially just an ace of spades, but it's white in the middle. So black don't show up too well on the checks of the shoulder pad. So yeah, as for any other new ideas, not much apart from that really. I am going to do a painting tutorial, hopefully filming this week, on how to do a nice sort of cool white colour on them. So you can look out for that very soon. I'll put them back up on the shelf. So yeah, I've got the Hellblasters and the Intercessors, is it? For them. So Harry says, bloody hell, those are amazing. A bit of Star Wars. Yeah, I can't remember if you or someone else who... Someone did mention they look a bit like Stormtroopers, and I said, with my dice roll, and they'll probably shoot just as well as them. I do some iridescent on the white. Keep it up and keep us updated. Yeah, well, I keep toying with the iridescent medium. Maybe I'll try it on a spare one or something. I did, I have, well, not on these, but I've tried it on the metallic blue colour before, and that's quite nice. So we'll have to see. Yeah, I have got iridescent medium, so I could try something with it. But it's very fun to use, but I have, in the past, on something, Harlequin jet bike, I think, I applied it and applied it too heavily, and if you apply it too heavily, then that leaves a horrible sort of creamy sort of film on the miniature, which looks horrible. So for anyone who's just joined us late, I'm going to be working on these today. So for my custom chapters, I've got the captain, an ancient, and a lieutenant, and an ancient. And we'll be painting bits and bobs. I know someone mentioned last week about freehanding the checkers. I think that might have been Vandus, if he's about. Which I don't think he is, because he normally jumps in the chat. I could demonstrate that in this video if he's about and wants to see that. If not, I'll just paint some of the other areas, which I'll do in the meantime anyway. We need to work out what colours are going to go on the banner. For both of them, actually. So that's going to be quite interesting. I'll keep it simple, but there's a big flat area in the middle where I can do the chapter symbol on each one, which I'm very much looking forward to. And with the captain, I've already sort of done his power sword. I just wanted to practice doing some glazes. So I'm just going to focus on that. But you can, yeah, it's not my best work, but I think that's good enough for this. I'll probably put a gloss varnish on that sword. That'll look quite nice. Oranges and yellows aren't always the best colours to play around with. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is do the metallic blue on these shoulder pads, which is right here. And I'll just do that on the regular palette. I've got my wet palette here as well, but for this I won't really need it too much. So for those who are wondering as well, this is a Model Air Arctic Blue, some metallic blue, lovely colour. And even though it's an airbrush paint, it applies really well actually. I normally do a couple of coats anyway. And I quite like using airbrush paints just out of the pot, just with a brush. The power sword on this guy was done with airbrush paints. Harry says, sorry Craig for spamming you. That's fine, let's keep this chat going. It's not always the most active, is it? So, always good to keep the chat going. I used to make my own snow effects. Should I go with that or the GW one? I'm a bit worried that it would not stick on it. I've got some of the GW snow about. So, if I find a base or something, we'll have a look, see what it does, because I don't think I've actually used it. In the past, I've used like baking soda, but that was alright. It does flake off quite easily. And I used snow effects from a different company as well. I can't remember. But yeah, I've got the GW one up there. We'll have a look at it in a minute. I'll just paint these shoulder pads. I know it's not the best of angle to see on the camera, I'm afraid. But I have tried to zoom this in a little bit. I don't want to go too far in now, just so I can show stuff off on the desk. We could work on this guy's cloak later as well. Thinking maybe just doing it blue. Getting on the inside is going to be a bit of a pain, but we'll work something out. The white is actually just the Ulthuan grey, and then I've done like a little wash of Fenrisian grey, and I neaten it up at the end because I'm always going to get other bits of colour getting on the white, so I always paint the white last. Emerald Phantom says the Dark Imperium made him go Death Card and made plans to paint all of his in the Horus Heresy bone colour. I have to say the Death Card look amazing, not being biased. Yeah, you know, I've seen some in the bone colour and I actually prefer them in the pre-Heresy scheme. I think they look awesome. Yeah, it's a wise choice. I was almost tempted to do it myself, but then there's a couple of card schemes in the book that came with the set that I really like. I really want to try them out. And I thought that'd be a good opportunity to do some painting tutorials on them as well. Luckily, Duncan at GW didn't do them ones in his painting tutorials. But then it's always good to see other painters' takes on the same things. I'm certainly going to paint them up slightly different. So I haven't decided whether to do airbrush or glazers with one of them. I'll probably do glazers. As much as I love the airbrush, I don't like doing it too much for tutorials because not everyone's got an airbrush. So it's just painting the last shoulder pad on these guys. There is a lot more metallic blue that goes on these, but I normally just paint the shoulder pads first. And then I'll let them dry before I move on to other areas because I always end up touching them otherwise. Emerald Phantom says your conversions look amazing, by the way. I wish I could do conversions that good. They're quite simple. Obviously I'm at a bit of advantage because I sort of have access to a lot of bits on hand, although all of them actually just come from either this set or my personal collection, apart from one of the heads. But I mean, they're really simple. In regards to the Lord, just chopping the end of a weapon off and replacing it with a scythe, chopping the back bit off and just replacing it. It's got that little zombie head I put on the end of that chain. They're all quite simple. I'm getting that head in there was a right pain. That was really difficult. I was chopping it down and all sorts just to get it to fit. There's a little bit of the one of the worms on there. I need to sort of green stuff the end back on. And for some reason I must have lost his other Nurglings, so I've sort of green stuff the back on there and put some rocks and stuff on. But I'm certainly most proud of this one. It's literally just a sort of arm swap. And it just changed his head as well. Works really well for an icon. Yeah, I'm loving these Death Guard miniatures. You know, fantastic. So let's see if we've got a base or something we can try some snow on. I guess I could just try just a regular base with nothing on it. I've got a load of bases over here. GW Snow, where are you? I wonder if so the font seems quite big on this chat, doesn't it? I wonder if I can make that smaller. Yeah, text size. There we go. You can get all your comment in then. So Harry says, what's your opinion on the new General's Handbook? There will be new death releases. I hope for more before the new book, because after that maybe switch to 40k again. Your conversions are cool. Yeah, well, we're going to get one every year, which is fantastic. Interesting that there's going to be no Path to Glory into it, because that's going to be its own separate expansion, which is fine. I think that's probably a good move. Yeah, I'm liking it. I like that they're going to have stuff for more sort of sub-factions in there as well, in regards to sort of command abilities and stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what the point changes are, whether they're going to be for some of the most recent books as well. It'll be interesting to see if like anything for like Caradron Overlords will have new points, for example. It's a good way of doing it, I think, and I hope I know we're going to get a 40k equivalent towards the end of the year. I think chapter approved could possibly, I think that's the name they said they were going to use for the 40k one. So yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, they need it to keep Age of Sigmar balanced, so it's a good idea, in my opinion. So I just got a bit of stuff stuck on the end of my little spatula here. So what I've got here is the Valhalland Blizzard. This is the GW Snow. At least the current one. I know they've had like tubs and stuff. Inside it really does look like snow. I don't know where you can see it, but it looks all fluffy. So I assume you just get out with the spatula and you just stick on the base. Now, as you can see straight away, it's not really sticking. Obviously, you'd normally do this on top of like sand or something. So I'm just gonna bung a little bit on like that, because you don't have to do it on. Like if you had sand, you'd do it in little patches. Or you could do the whole thing if you want it to be really thick snow, but we'll do it like that. We'll leave that for a little while and see how well it sticks, because that might stick as it dries. I don't really know. It's the first time I've really used it properly. So yeah, we'll leave that there. Obviously, there's many other different snows available. Just bear with me 1 minute if I can get in this drawer behind me. I have a little terrain drawer. With a lot of stuff piled up in front of it. And in here, I think there's just, the other one I have is just the old Citadel Snow. Dagobah Dave says hello from Oregon, USA. Hello. Let's see if I can get in this GW one. Where's the lip? It's like... Alright, okay. So, this stuff's sort of like, very like snow-like. I don't know if you can still get this or not. But... This stuff you just stick down with PVA. It's actually really nice. It feels more... It's like a different type of snow than what this one is. This one actually does look a bit more natural. And certainly for more like heavy snow. But yeah, this old one's pretty cool. Just a tub of white powder. Just don't stick it in a baggie. But yeah, you could try that as well. If you were to pick up snow from other companies, it'd be more like, certainly be more like this. So that can go back in the drawer. Kiblams says, hey all. Hello Kiblams. Thanks for joining us. So what is everyone working on this evening? My phone's got res, nothing important. No. Okay. What should we paint next on these guys? That's no problem. Always happy to help. If anyone have any other questions, always happy to answer them or try some stuff out if need be. So I'm gonna really be jumping backwards and forwards on all these. Now I think I'm gonna do some silver areas on these guys. So Kiblams should be working on 7 Talos to a better level. Alas, he's chilling. 7. I want to get a Talos. I want to start a little homuncular coven. I've got a box of racks down there somewhere. That I really want to convert. I want to make them look even more sort of grotesque and go all sort of horror and macabre on them. We'll get there eventually. Got loads of Primaris Marines and Death Guard. I bought a few Forge World stuff lately as well. Henry is still working on Armageddon terrain. Yeah, I literally just airbrushed mine and left it, but I do need to neaten all mine up. I don't know if any of you guys have been watching a Shadow War campaign. The penultimate one went up today, and it's worth watching just for Wayne's post-game rolls, because they are hilarious. Talk about bad luck. So funny. You could probably just hear Jab in the background, just in hysterics. But really enjoyable. And we did film the finale last week as well, and that's well worth watching to the end. That'll be up on Thursday. And we do something very different for that, and it's quite interesting. It sort of works well with our narrative, but it's quite funny at the end. Yeah, if you only watch a couple of our Shadow War Armageddon videos, watch number 8, which came out today, and number 9, which goes out on Thursday. We've had some good games though. Kiblam says he's got plans for 12 Talos in his 2k list. Wow. I really miss the old Talos. I might try and pick one up off eBay if I can. I've always had a soft spot for that model. It'll fall to bits just by looking at it, but I might try and get an old one and do something with it. Emerald Phantom painting his second Slaughter Priest in a different card scheme to his first one. Cool. Yes, I like Slaughter Priests. Kiblam said he's in a bit of those. I'm assuming he's fans of Shadow War. Henry Mendez says worst post-game rolls ever. I know, they were just hilarious. Kiblam says, seriously, not a fan, and new Talos is my favourite model. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm sure no one else in the world likes the old Talos. I just have a soft spot for it. CC Gangster Swag, I presume I'm pronouncing that right. So it's just joined. What chapter are these being painted in? So we've got 2 chapters on the go. They're both custom chapters, I'm afraid. These are my Sons of Osiris chapter, who will eventually look like this. So blue, gold, obviously white as the main colour. And then they have a crossed whip and scythe. Or like cane, sorry, more cane than scythe. As their chapter badge, I don't know if it will focus. It's very simple. And then the other chapter are my Emerald Aces, which you may have seen if you've watched some of our bat reps in the past, especially in our Tainted of Odysseus campaign. They featured quite heavily in that. Might get them out in 8th edition games soon. Although I'm thinking I might run my Chaos in the next one. So I'm sort of just jumping between these. Come on, you're up there. There we go. Dagobah Dave says, working on some rules for playing Shadow War more like an RPG, using small mercenary bands and a game master. That's a cool idea. I think that would work really well. It's quite cinematic, which is what I really like about Shadow War. And that could work well in an RPG setting. Emerald Phantom says I had terrible luck in my first 8th edition game of 40k. With my Heldrake against an Astromil Tarum army, and the Heldrake never made a single successful wound roll, so it's just a damage cushion. That's a shame. Heldrakes are really good just to charge across the battlefield and go into combat with stuff to tie them up. I think the fly rules need some tweaking. Yeah, to be fair, I didn't have a lot of luck in my first game. That wasn't one that was filmed. I played one with one of my mates who has an Eldar army. Unfortunately, he doesn't like going on camera, so we don't film any of them games. Which is a shame, because his army's actually really nice. But it's very shooty, and yeah, a lot of my stuff just got shot to bits. Bright Lancers are quite nasty, and he's got a lot of them. So on this guy, I'm just painting Runefang steel into all the joints of the armour. Also the eagle on his chest. All pipes and tubing and stuff like that. I will do some on the banner, but I haven't decided what's going where, although I will do the top eagle thing in this colour. Now I'll do Runefang steel first, because I will put a wash over it and that'll darken it down, and I want the silver to be fairly bright. So it's normally Runefang, non-oil, and Stormhost silver. So Kablams has been having both good luck and a blast with his Dark Eldar Coven monster list, and they play completely different in 8th. No longer a close combat beast, more of a super resilient gun base. I mean, that's probably a good thing, because the new edition is still quite shooty. Still favours quite shooty armies, I believe. They sound like they could be quite interesting. So I guess a Dark Eldar Coven monster list is just Talos's, Kronos, etc. Emerald Phantom says, I love the Slaughter Priest. My friend never gets close to them because I always run 3 of them, and they became a lot better due to the new Gore Pilgrims Battalion. Yeah, I think we had a game on the channel. I can't remember what army I was playing, but Wayne was taking Khorne, I think I might have been Stormcast. Or Stormcast or Caradron Overlords. But he had a couple of Slaughter Priests, and yeah, they do work well together. Hip Hop Teletubby is not here, or am I? I think you are. Henry says he sent an email picture of his Armageddon terrain. Yes, you did. That did pop up on my screen a while ago. We'll get that up on camera in a minute. This Runefang steel still needs a bit more of a shake. So look, oh wow. I will be sharing this because that looks really nice. You make me want to repaint all mine now. So I need to make a folder for all these images. I'll just bang you on the desktop. So where are you? That's the one. Because it never wants to resize it properly or rotate it well. Let's have a look. This thing's so slow. There we go. That's about as big as it's gonna last. So let's get rid of the top. Okay. So that'd be left. Yeah, there we go. I'm still learning with this thing. If we do that, then we can make it bigger. There we go. So yeah, that is Henry's Armageddon terrain. I really like the sort of contrast from the blue. My Crimson Fists are painted sort of similar to that, very dark blue with the really sort of bright highlights. And that's really cool. And I like that your containers match as well. That's really cool. You got a lot more than we've got. I need to buy another couple of sets, I think. So yeah, really cool. Really cool. Madcow Crazy says hello, or hey. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're well this evening. Can't remember where I was in the chat. Hardcase33 says hey as well. Thanks for joining us. So Henry says he barely started painting it back when he took that pic. Yeah, so it looks like that's just had a very heavy dry brush, which looks really nice. That's a really good idea. Harry says it was Stormcast. Alright, yeah, so it was Stormcast versus Khorne. That was a good battle, that one, but I don't think it's had as many views as some of our other ones. The Caradron Overlords game was really popular. It's funny how sort of battle reports are like that sometimes. Kiblams say it looks good. Harry says Nikola Tesla would love to work there. Yeah. Yeah, really like the colours of that. Very sort of Tesla-like. Mad Cow says he's been finding some really awesome hobby stuff for really cheap. Cool. Now you're going to share with the class where you found it. Or is that just a secret? There we go. So, if you need plastic tubes, then go on eBay and buy lollipop sticks. You can buy them in bundles of 80 to 100 for $1 to $3 with free shipment. Oh yeah, like them little, like Chubba Chup lollies or whatever, like sticks for them. Yeah, that's a good idea. I use a lot of ice lolly sticks on stuff. So Kablams says, gotta go guys, nice chatting. Ta-ta for now. Thanks for joining us. I'm here till 10:30. If you can make it back. Obviously this will go on YouTube afterwards. Emerald Phantom says, the Gore Pilgrim Battalion makes it so you can reroll failed Slaughter Priest abilities, and for every Slaughter Priest within 8 inches of the Blood Secretor, can add 6 inches to the banner's ability. That's really cool. There's some really good synergy in the Khorne in the Khorne army, which is really nice. I always like armies that have good synergy. There's a little bit in 40k. With the updates, I think we'll see a lot more, and I really like that. Henry says so much damn detail on that terrain. Yeah, isn't there? And none of it's painted on mine, just airbrushed the top and the sides. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me if I want to get that looking nice. One day. Hardcase says, when do you think you'll do a battle report on Dark Angels? I don't actually have any Dark Angels, and I don't know anyone who does, apart from one of my mates. The guy who I was talking about earlier, actually, who has the Eldar army, he does have some Dark Angels, but he doesn't like to go on camera. But he doesn't have a lot. But maybe we'll borrow them sometime, and maybe do a little battle report with them. It would be nice to showcase some different armies. I do want to do some Grey Knights at some point. Get a little Grey Knights army on the go. We've got Death Watch and Custodes sort of in the works. Yeah. I don't mind showing some Dark Angels. Got Cypher as well. Obviously he's not a Dark Angel, but he's quite fun to play against him. Harry says he likes the lollies as well. Yeah, that's it. I don't need to buy the sticks. I'm with you. Just have the lollies. So Madcase says he bought a lot of syringes in different sizes. You can get them with plastic blunt needles. Bought packs of 50 for $5 each with low shipping. The needles are 2 inches long, which I intend to use as barrels. That's quite interesting. You have to show us. You have to show us the results when they're finished. Has found a site called Etsy and found copper tubes are very cheap as well. Before I would cut metal syringes and try to fix the cut part, but now I have 50 of 1.5 millimeters and 2 millimeters in length from 10 to 50 millimeters. 10 millimeters is way too much then. Yeah, Etsy's great. Etsy's amazing. My mate's actually doing. There's a different mate. He's starting to build a lot of stuff, like furniture and stuff, and he's sort of trying to do some sort of steampunky stuff where it's like it's a mixture of oak and copper pipes, and he's made like this toilet roll holder for himself as like a little prototype type, and it looks really cool. It's all quite steampunky. So I'll have to point him in a direction of there because I'm sure he'll be buying a lot of copper tubes and stuff. Probably larger sizes, mind you. So I'm even painting the silver areas on the gun in this lighter Runefang steel as well. The guns themselves are just black on the emerald aces. So they just need a little highlight. I also hired a sculptor from Etsy to third model me some Sisters of Battle models. Been thinking about having it done for years. Found a place that'll do fairly cheaply. $100 for 3D model and 5 resin prints. Hardcase 33 says, does anyone want to hear the saddest thing about Gulliman? Yes. Yes, we do. I can't say I'm a massive fan of the Ultramarine, so yeah, bring it on. So I think a tiny little bit there just in his arm. I won't do the other guy yet because this silver's taken a bit longer than I thought, but then we're chatting away on the chat, so it's all good. There we go. Emerald Phantom says, I can't wait for a new Nurgle Plague Angel thing you see fighting the Gilliman on the first page of the hardback rulebook, who apparently is going to be bigger than Magnus. Yeah, that's Mort Areum, who is the Primarch of the Death Guard, whose miniature we will be getting. I would say, at a guess, I would say August for him, but who knows? Who knows? And maybe we could just whack the gold trim on these guys. Which means I can break out one of the scale 75 paints. Because I love them. And I think it's elven gold. So I have many sad things about Gugu. I just need a good shake, because what I like about these ones is you can see where they've separated. I mean, obviously you can't now because it's been shaken, but if we get like this one, the dwarven gold, like you can see all the white at the top where it's basically LeMay medium. Emerald Phantom says, oh, I will be mad character, sorry. He hates the Primaris and sees them as nothing more than a tool, exactly like the Emperor saw the Primaris. Emerald Phantom says, does anyone have a backstory about him? Do you mean Mort Areum? There's absolutely loads in the Osiris series, because obviously he was leading the Death Guard around that time. There's probably not as much fluff on him in his demon form, but I'm sure that will change. Just do a Google search on the Death Guard, you'll find plenty of stuff about him. Hardcase says, okay, I was playing a game with my friends and the person on the enemy team had Gulliman and he needed to make one charge to win the game, but instead he runs forwards and trips on a stone. Should have gone to Specsavers. So I assume he didn't make the charge distance. Not quite as bad as having the Crows of Slick in Shadow War Armageddon. That's actually in effect on our last game, I think. Horrible thing. There's actually some funny moments with the Crows of Slick in that last game as well. So I'm not doing too well with this brush here. Don't really want to break out the little one, but here it comes. Bloodlord 96, what do you think will happen with the Blood Angels after the Great Rift? I don't actually know. Blood Angels are one of them armies where I actually really like them, but fluff-wise, I know so little about them. So who knows? It's quite interesting that there's like Blood Angels Primaris, because like, do they suffer from the Black Rage or not? Like, who knows? I think there's going to be there'll be a lot of interesting twists and turns with some of the Space Marine chapters, I would imagine. So, really, I should have put this gold trim on before I did the blue. It's usually best to paint a trim around the shoulder pad first. It's a lot easier. That said, I do a couple of coats of the blue, so I can neaten it up when I do the second coat. But I'm really liking this brush. This is just a Winsor & Newton Cotman. It's called a 00. I just got it out of a store called The Range, which is like just a big sort of box store. Just sort of has everything. About £4. It might not even have been now, I don't know. It was quite cheap. Mad Cow says, spoiler for 40k in the next year. All chapters have suffered great losses, some been destroyed, but now Primaris they will replenish them. So regular Marines will be all but gone, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, let's face it, Primaris Marines will eventually replace the normal ones. That's obviously going to be GW's plan. And why not? They look awesome. I think it's just GW putting a fluff reason in why all the Space Marine models are suddenly a lot bigger. They could easily have just released bigger Space Marine stuff. So, just doing the gold trim on the captain. Just round the shoulder pads for now. Just trying to keep it interesting so we're not just stuck on one colour for ages. So, I'm thinking I could try and work out what to do on one of these banners. I think they could look quite cool. Obviously, I don't want to go too overboard with colours on them. I like to keep the palettes quite simple on these. But yeah, there's a lot of jumping between these miniatures, but that's fine. Just keeps me interested. Stop me getting too bored on the same colour. Mad Cow says we new vehicles and Marines. Yeah, we'll see a lot of the Primaris over the next year or two, I reckon. Of course, we have the awesome new Dreadnought coming at some point. And their tank as well, which I actually quite like. I'd really like to see jet bikes for them. I know it sort of all goes against the fluff, but obviously we're seeing with that sort of grav tank thing they got, that grav technology is possible again, so some jet bikes would be really awesome. Ooh, so Eldrad Phantom says, does anyone know what factions I should make my Primaris Marines? It's all chaos, but you don't know much about the good guys. I would suggest, without talking about specific chapters, I would either go down two paths. Do a colour scheme that you enjoy doing, or go down the route of a playstyle that you enjoy playing. And maybe Oh, Madcow says you missed what I said about new vehicles and Marines. I did. I think it would be better if they just said, here are some bigger Space Marines and not ruin the fluff, with Primaris and Core being the biggest heretic in 40k for millennia. Oh, he would be banned for creating new vehicles and Marines. Yeah, yeah. So I completely missed that. Yeah, that's it. I mean, Primaris Marines, just a fluff reason to make bigger models. They could have just come out with bigger ones. Yeah. It's interesting, but it's just nice that the same way that fluff has moved on a bit, even if it's not brilliant. So yeah, anyway, back to Emerald Phantom's question. You could, yeah, go down two paths. So if there's a certain playstyle you like, obviously you're doing Primaris, so if you're going pure Primaris, then there's probably not much options when it comes to playstyle. But if you're mixing them with other Marines, like say you really like sort of combat or speed, you know, you could think about Raven Guard or Blood Angels maybe. What other ones we got? Of course, there's just Ultramarines. If you like Flamer heavy stuff and Melter heavy stuff, you go Salamanders. Or you could literally just do a colour scheme that you enjoy doing, or if there's a certain colour, like say maybe you want to do an army in yellow, you could do Imperial Fists. Or you could just completely just make up your own. Hardcase says everything just froze there, but I'm back. I'm good. Hopefully that was you and not me. We had so many problems last week. I think it's just because I updated the software without restarting my PC. That just gave us all sort of issues, but once I did a reboot, we're all good. Yeah, so Madclave says apparently the Fate of Conal campaign will start on the 27th of July with a new mission each week and end on the 1st of September. I'm really curious to how it pans out. Yeah, me too, and we will hopefully be filming some games for that as well. Hopefully. So, yeah, we'll look at these banners next. I think I'm going to have to do blue in the middle. I might not do metallic on the banner, I might look a bit strange. So I might have to go for basic blue. Certainly with this, I'm not going to do checkers in the middle, but I'll do checkers on there. So we'll start by, oh no, sorry, over here. Sorry, I was getting away with the camera. Yeah, hopefully we can put out some more 40k content very soon. We normally film on Tuesdays, but we can't do tomorrow, but we may be able to film at the weekend. Maybe. Let's hope the outcome isn't already determined by GW and games worth matter. All like what happened in the last campaign. Yeah, that was really disappointing. That if you're going to have people's games affect the outcome of your fluff, or at least say that it's going to, then stick with it, even if you don't like the outcome yourself. Or at least don't have it so an outcome. There's no possibility of an outcome you don't like. With Space Marines, you'd just expect, as they're so popular, that they would probably do quite well, and GW might be banking on that, but again, you hope they've sort of got ideas for each eventuality. It's a bit unprofessional not to. So we're painting the sort of circle in the middle of the banner. That's going to be Pallid Witchflesh. All the white in this colour scheme for the Emerald Aces is Pallid Witchflesh and not White Scar. Obviously it'll need some coats. Hardcase says he's asked some store about it and definitely playing a few games in the Fate of Conal. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Henry Mendez says his entire Space Marine army is first and second edition models. All models are over 25 years old. Wow. That is really cool though. I bet they look puny compared to Primaris Marines. So I'll probably just go back in with the Runefang Steel on a lot of this. I'm thinking of doing the white checkered pattern on these two shields at the bottom and then just do alternating colours on the middle one. One thing I don't like, which GW has done, say a race has been wiped out in the fluff, they got rid of the models for them, such as the Tomb Kings, Beastmen, Generals and more. Yeah, I think that with Age of Sigma, that was an opportunity for GW to get rid of a lot of stuff. Mainly stuff that wasn't selling so much, or they don't plan on updating. Don't get me started on Tomb Kings though, because I love the Tomb Kings. Weren't so upset about Bretonnian so much, but love the Tomb Kings. Now it's a really nice range of models. It wasn't even a small range of miniatures, really. So yeah, really annoyed with that. Madcade Crazy has seen the mess that is for Forge World Index books. Orcs lost half their model range. Yes, I've got them. I've got the latest ones here. So we've got Astra Militarum and Xenos. They are a mess. Yeah. I've got the other ones somewhere. They're probably down there somewhere. There's mistakes. I'm gonna put the light on. Ugh. Sorry, I'm so unprepared. I didn't even close these. There we go. Yeah, there's mistakes and all sorts in these index books. They seem really rushed out. Yeah. One thing I mean, I haven't gone through a lot of mistakes, but one thing I do like is, this is just a lame example actually, but the Renegade Disciples are quite cool because their Fanatic rule is actually really good. And then you can give them a Voxcaster which does exactly the same thing, just not as good. Why? Why is that even an option? And the thing is, even though both things do almost exactly the same thing, the wording is completely different. It's crazy. I know somewhere, I read somewhere, some guy has a weapon that does no damage, it does 0 damage. I don't know if that's in here or one of the other indexes. I know the Squiggoff's got an ability that works on a 2 and not a 2+, as I assume it should be. And yeah, I know there's better examples than that on the internet, but I can't remember. Emerald Phantom says, thanks by the way for helping me choose what Chaos faction to go with. Not Chaos faction, what faction to go with for my Primaris Marines. Any hint as to what you've chosen, or are you still mulling it over? I think I might do like a bone on the scroll. Yeah, let's do that. And match up Purity Seals. Hardcase says, which Loyalist Primarchs do you think we could see next? If I had to guess, I would say Lion L. Johnson, or for Dark Angels. I think out of all of the Loyalist ones, he's probably the most likeliest one we'll see next. If we see him at all, of course. Don't even know which ones are technically alive. I think Russ is like missing. Obviously there's couple who died. I think Dawn's meant to be dead, but he might not be. Oh yes, is the Orc Mega Dread not actually in there at all? I did see the Mega Dread, but not the Mega one. That's just crazy. Hardcase says yes for the Lion. By the way, I'm a Dark Angels player. Yeah, I mean, whether we'll see him or not, I don't know. I mean, there's all them rumours, weren't there, after Gathering Storm that we're going to see some Dark Angel stuff, but that never materialised. So Madco says, flyers with macro weapons, they can never fire. There's spell and arrows, yep. Missing rules or completely changed faction ability. The bad quality I've come to expect from Forge World, really. Poorly cast minis and badly written rules. I won't go as far as say they're poorly cast. I know the odd problems with certain ones for sure, but they have improved over the years. But yeah, these index books were rushed out, I think. We really need an app like Age of Sigmar with everything on, and they can just update them as and when. But yeah, we're going to have to get an errata out pretty sharpish, I think. I think I saw someone mention that some of the characters for the Renegades don't actually have the character rule. So, like enforcers and stuff will just be killed really easily. Your hero's going to be killed. It's a bit crazy. Wayne did mention that in our next bat rep, he wants to take his Death Court of Krieg. So that could be interesting with these current rules. You might just about get a force that works, despite all the errors and whatnot. A little bit of a muck up there. Little tip for those who watching me paint. Always good to keep your paints thin, and then if you make a mistake, have a dry brush on the hand to just mop up the mistake. So I make plenty of errors. So that's the banner so far. Needs more layers, but we'll do all the base coats, the first coats first, so we can get an idea of what everything's going to be. I could do the skull and gold, maybe. Have a little bit of gold on there. Or use the brownie colour we use. We'll see. So Emerald Phantom says, it might sound crazy, but I have a dream that one day I'll have one of every army, so I'm still thinking but the faction I choose is Space Wolves or Dark Angels. Cool. Yeah, I've not got quite that far, but over the years I've collected most 40k armies, with the exception of Necrons, and with possibly Tau. I had a few Tau miniatures, but I wouldn't say that was an army. But I loved the Riptide when it came out, so I got that and a couple of some Crisis suits and Fire Warriors, but that's as far as it went. But I haven't done Space Wolves or Dark Angels either, if you count them. But we do have a Bitzbox chapter which uses the Blood Angels rules, but again, there's not so many miniatures for them at the moment. I need to build and paint some more. So, Mad Cow says, the Arvis Lighter is the worst flying transport in the game, so of course it was the only one the Sisters of Battle could take. New rules says only Astra Militarum can take it, so Sisters of Battle and Renegades can't take it anymore. How happy would you be to spend $4 money on models and know your faction can't use them anymore? For the prices they are asking, you would expect better quality in both models and rules writing. Yeah, I see some of the stuff sort of been lost by some of them smaller factions. So is that not in the list for the Renegades? I assume not. I do believe you. Oh yeah. No, they got it here. They do have the Arvis Lighter. But I assume... I don't know, it says to replace the keywords, doesn't it? So whether that's their way of getting around it, I don't know. But then I guess it wouldn't say that for Sisters of Battle. So let's get out the silver. I'm actually gonna maybe use a scale 75 one. Maybe. Oh, that's too light though. That's too light. Thrash metal is like my favourite metal paint at the moment, but that's too dark. So we'll go back to the Old Roofing Steel. It just really separated this one. Yeah, let's hope Forge World sorts all this out soon. What page do you see the rules for Renegade Arvis? Well, on the Renegade page, they list all the other stuff you can take. Let's see if I can get up here. So here, it's not going to focus, but that says Arvis Lighter there. Under all the stuff they can take. So you've got Chimeras, Hellhounds, Scout Sentinels, Armoured Sentinels, Salamanders, Arvis, Valkyries, Leman Russ Demolishers, Basilisks, Medusa, Griffin, Wyverns, Hydras, Colossus Bombards, Earthshaker Batteries, Medusa Batteries, Rapier Laser Destroyers, Heavy Quad Launcher Battery, Heavy Mortar, Malkador, Minotaur, Malkador Defender, and Baneblade. So that's all the tanks that the Renegades can take. You replace the Regiment keyword with the Renegades and Heretics, and the Imperium keyword with Chaos. If the Renegades and Heretics unit does not appear on the list, cannot form the Renegades and Heretics, so can't have the keywords. Yeah, so only the Sisters of Battle will do stuff, because I assume it doesn't mention any Forge World stuff in there. Really, Forge World should have just sort of said that some of their stuff was available for other stuff. Mateo Deca says, great video. I hope it's not sarcastic. I hope you're enjoying the show, I do. Switch back to Mother Brush. Some of these brushes keep a really good point on them. This is a Da Vinci, I think. There's so much paint on the handle I can't even read what it is. It's a Maestro anyway. I got this from Norwich Art Supplies. You can Google them. They sell some really good brushes at a really good price. I'm lucky enough to live fairly close to the actual store, It's just under an hour away. Also not far from my closest GW store. But I don't really go to GW that often. Is the banner very green or is it the camera? No, it's very green at the moment. The chapter is my Emerald Aces. So, I mean, they're very green anyway. So, the banner's obviously gonna try and match them a bit. But there's lots of little details to paint. That's the wrong brush. That one back. So literally just base coat and everything before we delve into washes and whatnot. Just a lot of slapping down colour tonight. But I'm going to focus on this banner for now because I think it's a little bit more interesting. Madco says a chapter is for Black Salamanders and Black Templar models with Salamander rules. Awesome. I love flamers, my favourite weapon in the game. Yeah, they're even better now, aren't they? That sounds really cool, actually. I do love the Black Templar miniatures as well. It was kind of sad when they got bundled in with the regular Space Marines because they're still quite unique in a way. And hopefully we'll see a new Space Marine Codex at some point. Get our chapter tactics back. Be really nice. So we're going to do a white border on this as well. It's going in with a double zero brush. Had a lovely little point on it. And it's going to need it for this. Had to thin the paint down a little bit more than usual. This helps us get a very... Oh, sorry, you guys can't really see too well, but... trying to be as steady as possible. It's quite hard actually on camera to... Just painting this very fine line around the edge. It's gone a bit wonky there, but... we'll neaten that up at a later stage. It's all good. So Madcow says, I wonder if we'll see chapter torsos and shoulder pads for Primaris. The old ones don't fit. I really don't like the look of Mark 10 armour, especially the Age of Sigma knee shields. Yeah, actually, that's the one thing about the armour I don't like as well. I think shoulder pads fit alright. If we had multi-part Marines... If we had multi-part Marines, the shoulder pads would be a bit better, I think. They do seem to go on alright. I mean, I've replaced them on some other guys. If you watched the show last week, I had to do some chopping up, but I think shoulder pads are alright. But yeah, different torsos would be cool. Would be very cool. I just hope we get some multi-part plastic sets so we get different style torsos and backpacks, because I really don't like the backpacks. So I'd really like to see some variation with them. Julian Speed says, keep up the great content, mate. Well done on your result on the recent Shadow War game. Noggle was smiling on you. Yeah, that makes a change because my dice rolling's usually horrendous. But yeah, that game went really well actually. Adding that second autocannon into the Shadow War kill team really makes a difference. They are so good. And the next game will be going up on Thursday. I think I've edited it and it's ready to go. I will double check it tomorrow. I'm sure I have. I'm sure it's already up there and scheduled to go. Was for head the only thing you could swap with the old Marines, or shoulder pads as well? Yeah, it's shoulder pads as well. Behind me, hot off the undercoat on stage. These guys I did last week. They've got the Mark 3 shoulder pads. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, they've got Mark 3 shoulder pads. With these starter set ones though, you do have to chop them off with a saw. They're not separate pieces. I'm making a bit of a pig's ear of this line. I think the paint a bit more. Not too much on my brush. What's going on there? Do salamanders have their own models? Because when I look on the GW site I can't find any. No, I don't think they do anymore. They used to have a Chaplain Xavier. I think he was salamanders. They've got a special character though, haven't they? Vulcan Heston. They've got him. And yeah, if you're on Forge World, they'll have a few salamander stuff, the pre-heresy stuff. They might have shoulder pads and stuff for them. Yeah, as they're as they're like a Codex chapter who aren't Ultramarines, they don't have so much. But when it comes to like Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Ultramarines, there's loads. So that bottom line came out actually really nice. The right hand line is just a mess. Well, you can see it. There's a, well, it looks like there's a gap. That's just where the paint's a bit thinner. So I'll go over that. I apologise, my voice keeps going croaky. But yeah, I'll neaten that up at some stage. I'm just going to get all the basic colours down. Do a nice gold skull in the middle. Do gold on the halo and the little stars. That's what we'll do now. And I'll do a darker gold on them. Why not go with... Is that actually darker or is that lighter? That's it's different. Let's do Dwarven Gold from scale 75 because it's a nice gold. Oh, I have to give these a hell of a shake though. It's quite a nice gold. It's a bit richer than the Elven Gold, but it's quite nice. Might go on a bit thin. So you can see what's going on there. Certainly going to need 2 or 3 coats of this gold colour, but we're going to need a couple of coats of the powdered witch flesh as well. But I'll just lay down all the first coats for now. And to give you guys a rough idea of what it's going to look like. Alternative bit cells will have a field day with Primaris as it's only marked 10 armour. All I have to do is select their 3D models and scale them up 25% 3D print and resin cast. Yeah. I think the rise of all these third party sellers is probably why GW have been making so many drastic changes and stuff. But it's a losing battle, because they'll just come out with more stuff anyway. Whatever GW do, someone will make some other parts. So Jay Thomas says, this new job is really getting in the way of my hobbying. This is 2 weeks in a row I've been late for the live streams. How's everyone? Hi Craig. I'm good, thank you. Well, you've still got just over half hour left, so I put the chat up on the screen, so when you can watch it back on YouTube, you can see what we're all saying. So I'm just painting my Emerald Ace's Bannerman, or the Ancient. Just doing his banner. I've just been laying down some base colours tonight. So for the gold areas, that might be all there is. So it's just these shields at the bottom. It can be really fun trying to do the checkers on them, because they sort of curve inwards. So that'll be fun. That's how the banner's looking so far. It'll probably look less green when I get these done as well. It still looks quite green, but I didn't want to go with like pure white or anything. So, thank you. It's getting there. I mean, the details sculpted on them is really nice. Madcow says there'll always be alternative bits because GW won't make everything because it won't be profitable. Yeah, that is very true. They should have an auxiliary company that makes special bits like weapons and shoulder pads. Think Forge World, but good. Yeah, I mean Forge World could have filled that void to begin with, but they're sort of going off doing a lot of their own things now. Thank you, Hip Hop Teletubby. We should do those for everybody. What, like a sculpted banner? That would be cool. I don't know why I'm playing with that brush. I need this baby. So, checkers. I'm sure it was Vandus who asked for a demonstration last week, but he doesn't seem to be here. But if he watches back, this is tough. But essentially, it's very hard to keep it straight, but try and be as straight as you can. And you draw a line in the middle. It's probably a bit hard to see on camera if it doesn't want to focus, but there is a faint line in the middle of that one, I promise. And then I'll do one either side of that. Once I start filming checkers, you'll see it. Try my best to keep this line as straight as possible, but it's not going to be perfect. Not by a long shot. So we have 3 stripes going down there. I wish I'd invested in a camera with a manual focus, but hey ho. You're not going to see that, but now I do the same going across. So always when you draw lines, it's always best to do sort of down to up, really. And you can do it up to down as well. So there I've put too much paint on my brush. So that line came out a bit too thick, so we can just clean that up with a dry brush. As the paint's so thin that I'll just mop up. So we'll try that again. Less paint. Kind of glad that you guys can't see us too well on camera, because that just looked horrific. Across there and across there, so there's quite a few checkers on that. That's going to look quite nice when it's done. Mad Cow is a very cynical person, but to me it feels like GW has taken off Forge World's bestsellers and turned Forge World into some sort of testing ground. Forge World makes profit good and profitable, so GW takes it. That certainly seems that way with Horus Heresy, doesn't it? And maybe to a certain degree with some of the larger stuff. But I think it makes good business sense from GW. If stuff like Horus Heresy is doing really well, then why not jump on that? It'd be nice if they made some Death Guard specific heavy support options. I want to stay away from tanks, so maybe a unit 2 of Obliterators. Yeah, it's a shame Obliterators aren't as good as they are. Yeah, like Death Guard Havocs with Blight Launchers. I mean, we'll probably get a Death Guard book, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get them options and such. So yeah, we'll see. We shall see. But it's a shame about the Obliterators. They're still good, but they've lost some of their flavour. I doubt GW will touch Lord of the Rings again, and Tool Forge World makes it very popular and profitable. Yeah, I think so too. I just want to go back, just quickly looking at this snow that we did early on. This is GW stuff. That has stuck down really well, actually. Like, that's quite solid on there. So any reservations about it not sticking, they can be put to bed, because that is like, that's actually quite solid. So yeah, the GW snow does stick. They got dropped it and still on the base. So yeah, throwing that around. Basic Miniature Painting says, hi all, watching this on my break at work. That's pretty cool. Not cool that you're working, but nice that you can just jump on board during your break. Feels like GW has dumped a failing line on Forge World and simply said, that's their problem now, which means Forge World will have less time to make stuff I'm interested in. Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't just ditch it altogether, but I don't know if they end up just buying the IP for so long or what, I don't really know. So going back to these checkers, I really wish the camera would focus, but essentially I've drawn out the sort of lines, and then I've just put a dot in each square that I want to paint white. But you just don't want to focus, do you? Come on. Come on, come on. Focus on my hand, fine, but not a miniature. Technology, eh? Like, focus on the hand, focus on the miniature. Okay, it's just not one to play ball, is it? So next I simply just fill in the squares that I want. Matko says 12 AM here, do you work nights or in the US? I think you're in the UK, aren't you, basic miniature painting? I might be wrong. So Madcow's a couple of hours ahead of us because it's just gone 10 here. I apologise for being so late for our European viewers. There's no chance I'll be able to. Yeah, no chance I'll be able to do a show during the day. Especially if you want it to be 2 hours. Or if you just want to watch me just cut stuff off sprues. Pretty much what my afternoons consist of. As I had cases in Scotland. I do love Scotland. I wouldn't mind visiting up there again sometime. Just a shame about the weather. Basic Miniature Painting says I work 3:30 till midnight. It's a horrible shift, but gonna start building my wolf guard on Tuesday. Yeah, that does sound a horrible shift. I'm lucky that just running Bitzbox, I choose my own hours, so just do 9 to 5. Hadcan says if we had a live stream, it would just be very boring. It'd be him scraping and filing mould lines for 5 hours a model. Still, it beats getting them undercode and stuff, and then seeing a massive one on there. I had that problem with one of my lieutenants. I mean, this guy, I think, still got a bit of a mould line going down his leg. I had to sort of scrape it off after it primed because I didn't really notice it. I think he's the guy I'm going to use in the painting tutorial for painting white. He's just undercoated white at the moment, but there's a few more steps than just that. I wouldn't mind if you streamed all day while you're chopping bits. We could talk about Warhammer. Yeah, that would keep me occupied as well. Usually I just watch like Netflix or something. Well, Netflix or music, just bang that on and just keeps me sane. I wouldn't mind doing like some streams for patrons, because we've got a few people on Patreon now. There's about 20 something, but it's just for a Patreon stream you really want to try and do it when like most of them can watch, so that could prove difficult. But if we ever got to a stage where we got like 50 maybe, and even like a small handful watched, it wouldn't be so bad. But who knows? I haven't been pushing Patreon as much lately, but next month I will, because we're going to have another giveaway. I don't know what the price will be yet, but I have a feeling it could be something to do with the new GW releases coming out. We've also got some good stuff going out for our $20 pledges next month. Lots of gaming aids, sort of Bitzbox stuff, some of the Bitzbox dice as well. Even though they don't always roll greatly, but they're really nice dice. They're Chessex dice. So, Madcow says he don't really watch streams. He listens to them in the background whilst doing other stuff. Yeah, I find I'm like that with streams as well. Although I haven't watched any live ones for a while. I was hoping to catch Way of the Brush this week, and then Chris didn't do it. So I was like, typical. And I don't think I can make it to next week's one. Hardcase says, God save Games Workshop. Hip Hop Taylor says he's never watched live streams, but he thinks Craig and Bitzbox. Thank you. Tabletop Legends. Learned plenty of tips. Well, I do recommend Way of the Brush if you want to learn painting stuff. That Chris from Mini Wargame does, because that's really good. You can sort of see the checkers now. Da-da-da. They'll go right. I know it's a really crappy camera, and as soon as I bring it closer, it's just going to go all blurry, but GW did need a miracle to turn things around, and God has answered. God, don't they just? Well, what they needed was not an old CEO with old-fashioned ways. That's what they needed. A bit of life into the company. And they've certainly got that now. I might just paint the purity seals just for my own sanity. I don't know if I want to go straight into painting more checks. I've done a bit of everything tonight. If I can find my Scream of Ink. Ah, there it is. Fell off the shelf. Basic Miniature Painting says a big massive thank you to Bitzbox for now 105 subs. So a big thanks. Cool. I still haven't checked out any new videos yet. I haven't really had time lately, but I will. Yeah, it's nice growing a channel. We're hoping we can reach 5,000 subs by the end of the year. That's my target. Doesn't seem like much compared to bigger channels, but we grow steadily. If we could get more bat reps in, we'd grow quicker. But it's just finding the time to film them. In the past, I could film the odd one, like in the one random afternoon now and then, but I just don't have the time at the moment. That's why you don't really see other people in, apart from me, Jav, and Wayne at the moment. Because some of the other guys used to sort of come in the afternoons. But I just don't have the time for that at the moment. Not at all. And then when I do get time, I'll it normally just goes on painting tutorials or something. So that's what I hope to be able to do by the end of the week. Hip Hop Teletubby says, how do you paint them checkers so quick? Fair play. Yeah, it's only the first coat though. But it's a small area, and I've painted probably about 50 at least of these Emerald Aces with checkers on them, so sort of getting the knack of it now. But how are we doing for time? We've got 16 minutes left. So I'm just base coating the Purity Seal wax with Screamer Pink. I think Screamer Pink is one of my favourite GW colours. I use it quite a lot. I never used to, but lately I just use it on All my weapon handles, all purely seal wax. I love it. Then I'll just get some Rakar flesh on the actual seals. You'll reach 5,000. It's a fantastic channel. Keep up the amazing work. Oh, thank you. You guys really do make my head get really big. Like, I struggle to get out of a room after these. But we love doing it. I really enjoy doing these streams. We love doing the bat reps. 99% of the games I play now are for the channel, because I don't really have time to play a lot. But yeah, it'd be nice to eventually do a bit more. The aim is to eventually do one bat rep a week. It doesn't sound like a lot, but finding the time and then putting the hours into filming them, and then editing them, getting them edited as well. It's quite a lot just to get one out a week. Sort of currently, we've got a Shadow War campaign, so Shadow War games are slightly different. We can get them out a bit more frequently, but sort of currently getting a bat rep every sort of 2 or 3 weeks, but I like to do it every week. That's the aim. If I had a bat rep and a painting tutorial out every week, and then just a live show, I think that'd be awesome. We'll get there. We'll get there. So I'm liking this at the moment. You can just sort of imagine checks over there, and then maybe, I don't know what's going on in there. Maybe I'll do checks on one of the corner ones, leave another one green or something. I don't know. I don't know. So do you reckon we've got time to do more checks? I think before I do that, I'm just going to quickly do another layer of Powered Witch. Just on these. Because I can literally just slot that down. I'm going to do the Emerald Aces chapter symbol in the middle of that as well. I won't have time to do that tonight. But do check out our Instagram and Facebook. It's just Bitzbox. Because I'll post up pictures of these when they're done on them pages. Oh, thank you, Emerald Phantom. Says we'll reach 5,000 by the end of the year. Keep up the great work. And to be honest, Bitzbox is my favourite Warhammer content providing channel. Well, I'm glad. Thanks so much first, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. As with YouTube, we do get the odd negative comments sometimes. A little while back, we had a lot of comments about our camera work being so shaky, but we never thought it was so bad. When you watch someone like Mini Wargame and their camera work, not saying so much shaky, but they move it about a lot, show Battlefield and that, and that's the sort of thing that we're doing. And people say it's all shaky, but can't please everyone. We do try and improve it. Jab does some really good sort of high shots in some of the bat reps, which look really cool. I'll have to try and rig up something where we can take more of them high shots without him getting cramp in his arms. Right. So, again, trying to get this first line. I don't know well the camera will pick it up, but I actually held my breath through that. Proper concentration mode. So that's a central line. You can sort of make it out on the camera. It doesn't look that central. can do a line either side. So we've got 3 lines run down there. You can just see where it's pulled up a little bit at the top. Sort of shows you where the lines are. I won't worry too much about that. We neaten all that up later on. And then we just flip it round, and then we just do the same going the other way. I just want to neaten that bit up there first. Now it's almost impossible to get these checks the same size as the ones on the other shield, but that's fine. Do a little one just at the bottom. So you can sort of just about make out that I've got this sort of grid. Hamilton Phantom says, well, don't let them get you down. Take it from us, your channel is amazing, so keep up the good work. Thank you. Yeah, you learn very quickly on YouTube to develop a thick skin. I'm always happy to take criticism if it's constructive. If people have ideas of how we can improve, then I'm always happy to listen. It all just depends on how people sort of word their criticism, isn't it? But sometimes you can't always come across, like, people might even mean it in a nice way, but it's hard on the internet sometimes to get your thing across without sounding a little bit too nasty. But we take on chin. I've only ever had to block one person, and that's just because they were literally just trolling us, just putting negative comments on a lot of videos. Hardcase says I have to go see everyone around for the Emperor. Thanks for joining us, Hardcase. The show's almost over, so you're not going to miss much now. Just some more checks. So now I've dotted them in, I'm just filling checkers in. But to get a nice solid white, because you have to work with the paint quite thin when you do this, so to get a nice solid white, it's a good 2 or 3 coats. I always end up with little puddles of water just randomly on my palette from where I've been trying to brush off. Then I'll use that to thin down the paints. So that's essentially the first layer of checks on these ones. Yeah, it really doesn't take too long, really. As you can see, they're not like identical, but they work. Emerald Phantom says, through stream I was able to paint more than halfway Slaughter Priest. Yeah, I mean, that's what I like about these live shows, and whenever I watch some as well, you find you just sit there and just crack on with something. And once it's done, feel free to email me at the address on the screen. It's just craig@bitzbox.co.uk. I'm always happy to show off people's work on the stream. And hopefully you guys have liked the format with the chat on the screen as well. That's quite handy for me because I only need the one window open, even though I have got the YouTube thing open as well. I don't particularly need it. So, I'm going to paint these lines at the bottom of this one. They'll be empowered witch flesh as well. That's really thin actually. It doesn't need to be that thin for these. Jay Thomas says the only negative thing is to say is I want a video every day. I would love to be able to put out a video every day, or at least every weekday. That would be amazing. Oh, if only. If only. For that to happen, we'd have to just... We'd just have to become a video creator and not a bit seller. Which some days I would prefer, but it would never pay the bills. But who knows, one day I want to keep expanding the business. And if I got to a stage where I could hire more people to help on the selling a bit side, that would free up more time to film stuff. That would be awesome. And also get a bigger location to work from. All the videos I just film at home at the moment. Which luckily I have a room. Which is basically when I bought the house it was like a half-built extension. Weren't finished and I just sort of basically done it up and used it as my wargaming room. So that's where we film everything. And if you actually go back on some of our really old videos, like if you go back on like the first bat rips, you'll see like the walls are just like painted breeze block, whereas now it's like actual plasterboarded walls, so you can see the difference. And I think there's even a video doing a tour of like what the old room was, so it's just horrible. J Tom says, I'm watching this while shading 20 more poxwalkers. I really need a typhus. Hope new sculpt is coming soon. Yeah, I hope so too. Seriously, if you have poxwalkers, run typhus because he's awesome with them. Like, his buff for the poxwalkers just makes them so much better. Madco says he's just playing a crossout. Should be working on my Tiger E Lehman Russ replacement, but meh. Says you need to make clickbait videos, say goodbye to all morals, and make videos of you reacting to everyday things like it was the most intense thing in history. You'll get millions of subs fast. I'm not going to name names, but there are certain video creators and blogs in the wargaming industry who are quite clickbaity, and I never want to go down that road. You can tell which ones have watched videos or read blog posts on how to get more subs and viewers and such. But I'm not naming names because I actually like some of them. Although when it comes to blogs, I don't need to tell you which ones are clickbaity. Yeah, you said it, Madco, you said it. I mean, I suppose you could let them off in a way if that's their main source of income. They're just trying to pay the bills. Fair enough, but there are better ways of going about it. But I must admit, since the Warhammer community site has been up and running, I really haven't gone on Bella Lost Souls at all. I really like the Long War guys, but that Kenny guy is so Jersey Shore. Do you know, I love his paint and channel. I know he's an acquired taste, but he's good at what he does. I'll give him that. I normally just skip straight through to his just paint and bits. Yeah, his paint skills are undeniable. His low rent persona is almost unbearable. I won't go that far. Everyone's different. But yeah, he's certainly acquired taste, and I think he knows it. But that's what, you know. He's a clever guy. He knows that being himself, being like that, makes him stand out, and people remember him. So, but yeah, his painting skills though. I just saw a video of that Aquila Lander, that Crash one he did. Oh, really cool, really good. I want to paint mine up like that. So yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. That is the banner with the base coats on. So all I need to do. Yeah, YouTube is all about having an outrageous personality. Yeah, but I haven't got an outrageous personality. I'm doing okay, right? I've got some ideas of actually some videos where I'm going to add a bit of humour maybe into them. So look out for them in the future. I've got some strange ideas that I've seen on other channels that I like. So I'm getting inspiration, but we'll see. But yeah, this is the banner. Jay Thomas says his top 3 channels for Warhammer is this one, Tabletop Minions and Tabletop Tactics. Yeah, they're really good. They are really good channels. There's so many actually really good channels about. I love discovering them all. And Phantom says looks amazing. It's quite nice, isn't it? It's a really nice sculpted piece. I think the checkers just help but tie in with the army. And if you imagine a big ace of spades in the middle, that's going to look quite cool. And I'll get it all shaded and stuff. So look out for this on our Instagram page, because I'm certainly going to get this guy finished. And I'll crack on with these guys later in the week. I was hoping to paint a bit more on these guys, but I think I just got too into the banner, because I sort of had a picture in my mind of what I wanted it to look like. So I'm going to get this guy done first, I think. Okay, so on that note, it's 10:30, so I think it's time to say goodbye, I'm afraid. Thanks everyone for watching. It's been really enjoyable this week. We've had no hiccups. Everything's run smoothly. It's been amazing. I'll be back at 8:30 in the evening UK time next week. So thanks again to everyone in the chat and to everyone who's been watching. So as you see, Mad Cow's comment. I'm not reading no more comments. I'm going. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them videos. I am not doing that. It'll just be a video of me throwing up. So yeah, you're fine, Mad Cow. I'm going. If I can find my image, there it is. The chat's gone above it. I'm out of here.